It's always about those tricky viruses, unfortunately. Kevin Miller in the morning here, KIDO Talk Radio, promoting our school, securing our future from Boise State University's School of Lifelong Learning. And that's where we are today, talking with two young individuals here that are going to share with us their stories. We've got Randy and Amanda with us. Randy, good morning. Good to have you with us here on KIDO Talk Radio. You and I were joking about Joe Biden, and would you like a hug from Joe Biden? Is that what you were saying?
Well, I wanted to hug him.
Right.
Yeah, because I feel like he needed a hug.
Right.
He's kind of going through some stuff right now, you
Sure.
know, and so, you know, everybody could use a hug. I mean,
Right.
Come on.
Do you really trust people that are not huggers?
Oh, no. No, are you kidding me?
Right.
No, you don't trust huggers.
Right. Exactly.
Non-huggers, I mean.
Yeah, I was going to say, everybody, hey, how are you? And they just kind of get back from you.
Right.
Who doesn't want a hug?
Right. Even Joe Biden deserves a hug. Come
Right.
on.
And so what if you're a young intern, 18, 19, and Joe in his early 70s comes up and sticks his forehead next to yours? It happens all the time.
It smells your hair.
Yeah.
I mean.
You're big on the hair smell.
Well,
Yes.
I just seen it on the news yesterday.
Right.
So.
Well, never mind. Amanda, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me here this morning.
So what brings you to Boise State?
Oh, gosh. I think it was just time. It was so time to reignite what I had started so long ago and get it rolling and get it finished. And this was that opportunity. And so I'm so grateful for BSU and the MDS program and what they've offered for me as far as versatility and availability.
Sure.
It's been good.
What went on in your decision? You make it sound so easy.
Oh, gosh. Okay, so just to be clear, easy it is not. Being capable and having the opportunity, that is the easy part. It's still a time commitment. It's still an opportunity to better yourself and just really dig deep. But I would say for me in the Flex program, it's given me the opportunity to have that college experience on campus, but then be able to do laundry and sit in the emergency room with children and have the real life experience of I'm still a mom and a wife and need the opportunity to have versatility in my education.
I don't know about that, Randy. I mean, I could do like one thing, and that's
Me too. That's it. Yeah.
sometimes I'm lucky, show up at when the show starts, and after that, that's about it. But
Right.
and you?
Oh, same. But I do like the flexibility of. I do have one online course, and I do like that. The other three that I have are traditional types of going to class. But
Well, share with us the experience of what it's like to do that, because we have this impression of school, and we go to school, and the classroom and the teacher. And then all of a sudden, we just kind of go out into the world, and then now you're back with all these young people.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's different. I've been back in 15 years, and I'm just here to finish my degree, and so
Right.
it's been interesting. They all are pretty young, and I'm quite a bit older, so it's been a challenge, but I like it. I've enjoyed the experience so far. This is my first semester back, so
Sure.
It's been good. I've enjoyed it. And
Is
learning a lot, and it's been quite an adjustment. But
Yeah. How can you share with us any other?
well, just things have changed even in 15 years. Technology. I didn't even know what Blackboard was back then, and doing an online course, that was tough to learn, and just a lot of things have changed
Sure.
in 15 years and readjusting.
The
and
kids didn't attack you or anything, did they? I'd give them a judo chop. But,
nobody's hugging me or smelling my hair, so it's a good thing. Yeah.
Is that reassuring?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I worry about it every day, so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I won't be hugging either.
Oh,
So
my gosh, thank you.
thank you, Amanda. What about you? Returning to the classroom and having the flexibility. Can you share with us what it was like that first day?
So that first day, it was unnerving, but there's so much support, and that's what I loved, from my advising team to the way that I was even ushered into the program. It was so clearly delineated, so there weren't a lot of questions, and I think the confused mind says no. And so just minimizing confusion really opened you up to the yes and the possibilities of this program. As a result of that, I have loved being with the younger students, and it's funny because you look in the mirror and go, right, I'm 29. It's like my 11th anniversary of being 29, right? But I love looking around and having the experience with the younger students, because I think it affords me the opportunity to just really glean from some of their experience. From technology, you mentioned Blackboard, Randy, and I hear you on that. That was initially a little bit like, oh gosh, here we go. But again,
Now, wait a minute. Blackboard?
yeah. Oh, so Blackboard.
You know, you guys are having an inside conversation.
We are.
here.
We are.
Oh,
we
right.
are.
Right.
So Blackboard is the in which, when you're in an online course, not all of them, but the bulk of them, afford you the ability to interface with your fellow students and your professor, and it's through the BSU website, and it's how you upload assignments and get your grades and do all of that. And initially, you're so like, oh gosh, Blackboard, but oh man, there's so much support. Again, even from a technological perspective, there are people to reach out to, and your professors tell you who to go to and where to go, and so you just aren't left with questions. And I think that that is the key as you go back to school when there's been a long pause.
What about the family support?
Yeah, I don't get a lot of. I mean, yeah, I guess I get family support. I'm not married, so I don't. I don't. I guess my family are around.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that is such an idea, because you're taking away, from we're such creatures of habit, and then all of a sudden you're into this new environment once again.
Right.
Intimidating or refreshing?
It just was an adjustment. It's refreshing in the fact that I can actually do it. That I was kind of nervous about actually getting things done on time and the reading and the assignments, but through midway through now, I'm pretty excited that I can actually get back and do it and do well at it. So that's reassuring for me personally.
Yeah. I have a different experience. I'm married with two children, two young children. And so that we kind of sat down and had a conversation about what life looks like as you go back to school, and what to expect and what mom can do and can't do. Can we talk about early mornings? Oh my goodness. Just do them.
Really?
Just do them. Just get up at 3 and yeah.
Sure.
No, but that was helpful. Just getting up early and being prepared, and like you said, just getting ready for those assignments. And again, I think the other thing is just communicating. If you've got a struggle or a problem, reach out to your professor. They're there to help you. And if your professor is maybe not responsive as quickly as you need them to be, reach out to your advising team. Go back to your
Sure.
MDS coordinators and discuss it. It's
Sure.
all about a conversation. Communication is key.
All right.
And I've noticed that too, that the MDS staff here
No,
is
I'm with you.
amazingly helpful.
Okay.
And also the instructors,
Sure.
That's something I have actually noticed that's even better than the last time I went. I don't know if I'm reaching out more now as I'm older, but
Fair enough.
yeah.
Thank you, guys. Great
Thank
job.
you.
Yeah,
Thanks.
thank you.
Kevin Miller in the morning here, KIDO Talk Radio. Phone numbers 580-5436. 580-KIDO. Remember, promoting our school, secure our future, brought to you by our friends at CapEd Credit Union. Joining us now is a young lady, and her group is making such a big difference in the Treasure Valley. And I want to thank Ray Amaya for getting her on. They've got a big event this weekend, and this group is a total grassroots group. They love doggies. They have made a difference in our community. They saw a need in Meridian. They saw a need in the Treasure Valley. They're so active on social media. They've got a big event celebrating their 2-year anniversary. Jessica Ewing joining us from Meridian Canine Rescue. Good morning, Jessica.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me today.
Well, it is such a wonderful organization that you have. For people that aren't familiar with Meridian Canine Rescue here on KIDO Talk Radio, share with us the need, how it was answered, and your big event this weekend.
Sure, yeah, no problem. So Meridian Canine Rescue got started years and years ago in the city of Meridian because there was a need for an animal shelter. Some things changed, and the group that was running the shelter at the time decided to form a private 501c3 nonprofit. And we saw that there were still quite a few dogs that needed our help. We're not taking in strays, but we are taking in transfers and owner surrenders. So we primarily help local families who can't care for their dogs anymore, or we pull from other organizations and have partners all over. And we take dogs that are really in urgent need of help. So these are dogs that maybe are placed on euthanasia lists because they've run out of time elsewhere. So they come into us, and we take care of them. And we're celebrating 2 years now at our new location under our new name. And that's what the event is all about on Saturday, is just kind of raising awareness about our cause and inviting people to come on in and see what we're doing.
Jessica, why is it so important that you've dedicated your life to making sure that these four-legged furry family members get the comfort and hopefully the unconditional love that they give us?
That's a good question. I mean, I think all of us can agree that we love dogs, right? We have a wonderful dog-loving Treasure Valley. I think it's important that there are people willing to step up for the ones who don't have families yet. And that's certainly what I do, and that's certainly what the wonderful people in our organization do every day. We have a great team of volunteers, and we all feel very strongly that every dog deserves a chance at life. It deserves a chance at happiness. So we like to tell the dog stories. That's what we do on social media quite a bit. And we like to help educate the public and give them some skills and some tools that they might need to become better dog guardians.
How do you guys do it? 'Cause I'm amazed at the stories of animals that come in, dogs that come in, some that need intensive medical attention, and the fosters working with area veterinarians. You make the impossible seem possible, and you do it with a lot of volunteers. How do you guys get the funding to make that happen?
Well, because our community loves the dogs. So we are primarily donation funded. We don't have any contracts with local government or law enforcement agencies or anything like that for animal control. We're not part of any other organization, so we really just rely on the generosity of our friends in the local community. These are just individual citizens who also love dogs, who see their stories online and feel compelled to help them out, and they donate and help us keep this place going month after month.
You know, and I just remember one of the stories that just touched my heart is that here you had, at the facility, at the kennel, at the shelter, all of a sudden, it was a pipe breaking or something, and the area flooded, and you had a local business come in and take care of it, and that's tough enough for people that have dedicated resources of funding, but here the kindness, the generosity of local businesses came in and saved the kennel, saved those dogs. It's amazing. Like I said, I wish I could have you guys on every day here talking about what you do to make a difference. And as you said, Jessica, it's the reflection of others that that makes a big difference.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, this is a community effort. Businesses that come in at moments when we need them, they play a tremendous role in saving the dogs. We have a great team of volunteers who come in every day, rain or shine, and they're getting the dogs out and loving on them. So this is definitely something that our community has supported and that everybody believes in. And we've had moments where it's been tough. The flood, definitely one of them. But luckily that's fixed now, and everybody is nice and dry, and we're past that. But yeah, it's never easy. It's always a challenge, but we have a really great support system in the Treasure Valley.
That you do. So, Jessica, please give out your information. Obviously, a big event, a big celebration this weekend, but if people would like to volunteer, like to donate, and really like to get some unconditional love, how can they get involved with Meridian Canine Rescue?
Yeah, so we do. We have a big event on Saturday. It's our 2-year anniversary celebration. So we want to just have a party to recognize 2 years at our new location under our new name. So starting at 9 a.m., people from the community can bring their own pets in. So any furry critter is welcome for our microchip and nail trim clinic that runs from 9 to 11 a.m. We're offering $20 lifetime enrollment microchips, which is a great deal. And then we also have the $10 nail trims. The clinic is led by a team of veterinarians and vet techs. And then from 12 to 4, that's when the party really kicks off. People can come on in and meet our dogs that are available for adoption. So we'll have a bunch of dogs here. Adoption fees are $50 off that day. They can bring their family in and do meet and greets and take home their new family member. They can also bring their kids in. We're going to have a bounce house, face painting, crafts, games. We have vendors for the adults that they can check out, like Shadow's Paw Wash and Northwest Pets. We've got a silent auction, a doggy bake sale. It's going to be a really great day. At 4 o'clock, we're going to have a demo by one of our former dogs. His name was Bud while he was with us, and he is now Canine Officer Huck with the Nampa Police Department, and he's coming in to show off his new skills. And then at 4:30, we're super excited. For the first time ever, we have an adopters versus volunteers softball game. So we'll see how that goes later in the day. And that is all happening on Saturday. People are welcome to come on in and join us. And if people want to volunteer, we'll have staff and volunteers there to talk to them about the experience and then to invite them to our next orientation session, which is at the end of April.
Jessica, and now am I missing something? Is it still the same name, or is this you keep giving me the hint here? When we're talking about Meridian Canine
Rescue. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, for 2 years now. We used to be the Meridian Valley Humane Society, and we were on Linder Road before now. So the organization has been around for more than 2 years, so this is just a celebration of us being at this location under this name and doing what we're doing now, basically. Yeah.
Jessica, your website one more time, please.
It is meridianrescue.org.
Well, thank you, Jessica, and personally, thank you and everybody that makes a difference. As I'm just writing a review on Facebook of you guys, thank you for saving so many lives, both the two-legged and the four-legged.
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate your support.
There you go. Thank you, Jessica. You're listening to Kevin Miller, KIDO Talk Radio. And blessed to be with you here, Kevin Miller in the morning, KIDO Talk Radio. Let's get you to work safely and on time. Good morning, Dave.
Good morning, Kevin. Still working that accident eastbound between Linder and Meridian. It's on the median side of the freeway, so move to the right. Construction slowdown still at Cole and Franklin. That'll continue through the day. Did your furnace and AC barely make it through last summer and winter? Right now, get rebates up to $2,000 on a new system and be ready for anything. Call the experts at Western Heating and Air, 208-375-COOL. That's your Impact Directory traffic update on KIDO Talk Radio.
Thank you, Dave. KIDO Talk Radio weather from the Channel 7 First Alert Weather Center. Good morning, Larry.
Good morning, Kevin. Better hang on to that rain gear. We've got a little bit of a chance of some showers for this morning, a break for a middle portion of the day today, then another 30% chance of showers this afternoon. Then it's going to carry over Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Showers will be likely, and that freezing level around 7,000 feet. I'm News Channel 7's Larry Gebert.
And I'm Kevin Miller from the Boise State School University of Lifelong Learning. Phone numbers here, 580-5436, 580-KIDO. You know, taking a look at this, some really good news coming out. You're not going to hear that anywhere else, but unemployment, the amount of unemployment claims dropping to its lowest in the last 50 years. The number of weekly unemployment claims in the country has fallen to its lowest levels since 1969. Now you're saying, Kevin Miller, where did you get that from? Kevin Miller, did you make that up? According to figures released Thursday by the Labor Department, the number of applications for unemployment benefits totaled 202,000 for the week ending March 3rd. That's 10,000 less than the same week last year and the lowest in 5 decades. The decline comes in spite of a national slowdown in job growth, leaving the unemployment rate unchanged at 3.8%, according to some economists. Now, at 580-5436, 580-KIDO, do the unemployment numbers reflect what you're seeing firsthand? And usually we do this on Monday with Dave Petso. Do you believe that the bubble is about to burst? Now remember, these are not the phony numbers that we had, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago. We're talking about the lowest numbers in the last 50 years. And many people are very excited about it, particularly when it comes to the job market.
The job market was stronger than expected in March, and this report calms concerns that the U.S. economy could have been slipping. The unemployment rate held at 3.8%, the lowest level in almost 50 years. There were 196,000 new jobs created, more than forecast. One weak spot, you're not making much more money. Wage growth increased 3.2% over the year ending in March. February's small increase of only 20,000 new jobs was revised slightly higher to 33,000. Jenny Cosola, Fox News.
Thank you very much, Jenny. However, when we're talking about earnings and everything else, what does that mean? Here's Ed Lawrence from the Fox Business Network on KIDO Talk Radio.
Unemployment rate remains unchanged, 3.8%. White unemployment rate ticked up to 3.4%. Black unemployment rate dropped to 6.7% from 7%. Asian unemployment rate to 3.1%, unchanged. Hispanic unemployment rate up to 4.7%. The U6 is 7.3%, unchanged. Long-term unemployment, 21.1% of the unemployed.
And there we have it. Now, will wages rise? That is the big question. We'll have more of that coming up. Remember, we are here at Boise State University. Kevin Miller in the morning. The School of Lifelong Learning, thanks to our friends at CapEd Credit Union, Team Mazda Subaru. And if you're thinking about going back to college, it's intimidating. We'll talk about it next. Let's find out what's happening in your world. Good morning, Maggie.
Good morning, Kevin.
And coming up, we'll take some of your phone calls. I see our friend Liberty Linda is holding. Liberty Linda will get to you. Todd Christensen rejoining us from CapEd Credit Union, our great friend, as always. Todd, how are you?
It's always great to be here. Great to be here at Boise State, here at Extended Studies and the College of Innovation and Design, talking about lifelong learning.
Right. We've got our friend Pete here as well. He's going to make sure you stay in line.
Well, let's hope that we can stay on the rails here in this segment.
You know, education is so powerful, and I understand that CapEd Credit Union is so committed to that, and the history of CapEd Credit Union, not only in the Treasure Valley, but throughout the great state of Idaho.
Throughout the great state of Idaho, you know, we're one of Idaho's oldest, if not the oldest, continuous operating credit union, founded as Boise Teachers Credit Union. We continue to have that dedication to education and supporting programs much like this today of promote our school, secure our future, and sharing the great things that are taking place within our education community.
You know, when Pete, when you hear that from Todd, how does that make you feel as an educator?
I think it's great. I think, you know, when we're looking for partners out and looking for, you know, really those that share the values related to providing education and the power that it brings to people's lives. So it makes me feel great.
Indeed. Now, Todd, every year for the past few years, CapEd has really embraced the digital realm, the video realm, and these kids get more and more creative when we're talking about I don't know, do we call them movies? Do we call them trailers? Do we call them documentaries?
I would say that we put it in the arena of just video and the creative services, whether that be geared towards print or video or audio. You know, we would often say the AV, the audio and video, but the spectrum of the creative services that's being trained at the high school and at the middle school is pretty incredible.
When we take a look at this now, and again, we're going to have a dated reference. So we're going to publicly disclose that. We go back to film strips, and not even film strips with color, when you have the cassette and go beep, and you turn it, and that was our audio-visual experience.
I remember those as a family of being able to watch an instructional video or an instructional film strip and remembering it cutting and having to cut it and paste it together. Yeah, and the beep, yeah, I remember that.
So for people that were raised in that era.
In analog
America.
So us.
Right. We go... Pete, can somebody learn, you know, Final Cut or Adobe or, I mean, he's hip with the language, but I mean, is that something that you would pursue here at Boise State?
Oh, absolutely. I think, you know, beyond the classroom, the ability for students to take on new knowledge and skills that are available that we can teach here in the classroom, you know, and honestly, Kevin, you can learn these things online. I mean, looking at
maybe you can.
A little bit of YouTube goes a long way to learn some of these skills, but one can apply those and make use of them right away.
You know, we've talked about creating your own career through Adobe Creative Cloud.
Right.
Those certifications are being driven down at the high school level and even now into the middle school level. And individuals who may be in a professional or career advanced opportunity and wanting to gain those skills, much like Pete mentioned, either YouTube or actually go into the Adobe certifications and receive those online.
That's right.
So let's talk a little bit about the high school and middle school video contest.
This is our 9th annual. This year, actually, because middle schools are starting to increase their offerings and helping students gain those skills and proficiencies at a very young age. We've included middle school this year, so it's both high school and middle school. And we've received all of our submissions. We've had a great quantity of submissions that have come in. This next week, we'll go through the professional process of screening those over at Overland Park Cinemas. And then on April 17th, we'll actually do the premiere and award ceremony.
Wow.
And so we'll probably be presenting up to 20, maybe 25 of the videos, middle school and high school. And then the top 5 for both middle school and high school will receive cash prizes and software licenses for those students to be able to utilize in their home as well as at the school.
Sure. And we'll have more coming up.
Absolutely.
A lot to do today. Let's go to Simon Owen joining us now from London, KIDO Talk Radio. Simon, certainly the fallout continues concerning air travel and this Ethiopian plane crash. Good morning, sir.
Morning, Kevin. Yes, what we have here is the preliminary report into the crash of an Ethiopian Airlines plane just outside the Ethiopian capital, Addis Ababa, last month. This was a crash in which all 157 people on board were killed. And it was the second deadly crash involving a Boeing 737 MAX 8 in the space of 5 months. And it led to those planes being grounded worldwide. So there is intense interest in learning what happened. This report sheds a certain amount of light, it seems, on that. It describes how a key sensor that detects if a plane is in danger of stalling, malfunctioned. It was sending suspect data, and in turn, that kicked another system into pushing the plane's nose down. And it did this repeatedly, even as the pilots struggled to pull the plane up. Now, this report says the crew followed Boeing's instructions for what to do in an emergency, and still they were unable to recover the plane. And the report issues 2 recommendations. It says Boeing should review its flight control system, and it also says aviation authorities should verify that system before the MAX 8 flies again.
Simon, we take a look at this report and the idea that these pilots were frantically trying to save that jet, to save those passengers, and then you have the CEO of Boeing apologizing. What type of dent of confidence does this have in air travel throughout the world?
Well, I mean, I think it has it's thrown a spotlight on certain aspects of the air travel industry, the aviation industry, that we knew about, but perhaps people hadn't really reflected on a great deal, at least not publicly. You know, not least there have been questions about how the FAA has come to rely on manufacturers to essentially self-certify the safety of their planes, because in these days of government agencies being relatively squeezed and airplane companies being pretty huge, and also the airplane companies looking to get their designs into the skies as soon as possible, there does appear to become a bit of a tendency there for the manufacturer to be left in charge of a certain amount of the safety certification. I think that will certainly cast a bit of doubt, and there will be some inspecting of that in the months and years to come. I mean, it's certainly led to. It's possible this plane, according to experts, could be back in the skies in a matter of weeks if Boeing changes a few things about it and it's checked over. But now we've heard that aviation authorities in Canada and in Europe have both said they want to independently check this plane's safety, so that complicates the journey towards it getting back into the skies. I mean, look, this is the preliminary report, and you have to put this document out within 30 days of a crash. The full report can be up to a year after the crash takes place. So there are unanswered questions. This is just the preliminary document, and aviation experts say they want to know why this anti-stall system that is supposedly potentially caused so much trouble, why it kicked back in on the Ethiopian flight. Did the crew turn it back on, which they're not supposed to do, having already shut it off, or did it kick in by itself? This report doesn't answer that question. And there are also experts saying that the report suggests that this plane was going at an unusually high speed, an unusually high thrust throughout this flight. And so there's a question there, why was it going fast? So there is more to learn, but you're right. I mean, Boeing's response has been to say that it will study this report. It has already said that it's going to issue a software update to change the way this plane flies. And Boeing's CEO said yesterday, it's our responsibility to eliminate this risk. We own it, and we know how to do it.
Simon Owen, thank you very much, sir.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you, our great friend Simon Owen. Remember, when you hear Fox News on the radio in the Treasure Valley, you're listening to your exclusive home for Fox News in the Treasure Valley, KIDO Talk Radio, 107.5 FM, 580 AM. And here we are, Boise State University, School of Lifelong Learning. If you have a question, would like to learn, would like to take a class, their number, they'd love to. We have operators standing by right now. That's right, a room full of people here at 208-426-3496. That's 426-3496. We go to Liberty Linda. Good morning, Liberty Linda. Thank you for your patience. I know so many people want to hear what you have to say, and thank you for joining us from Utah.
Well, thank you, and I'm not on the stream yet. It's been out all week here, so I don't understand that. But, well, it looks like, Kevin, we have another Democrat joining the presidential race.
Really?
Over Starbucks, Howard Schultz. Now, I don't know if you know the gentleman, Kevin. I thought perhaps you may know him.
No, I don't know Howard Schultz. I'll ask Todd Christensen. Do you know Howard Schultz?
I do not, but
okay.
I know that he's the CEO of Starbucks.
Well, we don't know him, Liberty Linda.
Okay, well, he was on television last night, and he certainly didn't seem very conservative to me. Not when he calls our country a democracy. If they don't know we're a constitutional republic, how can they run as being a Republican? Anyway, and trying to take down our good, wonderful president. He was doing that through his whole talk. And I don't think it's positive to find a man for the job of president other than Donald J. Trump. I truly believe he was a gift from God to us to save our nation. He is a man for our time. And Kevin, if he is listening right now, and I know he listens to your show, I just wanted to say, Mr. President, Liberty Linda is on your side.
Well, Liberty Linda, we're working on getting that fixed, and we appreciate you.
Well, love you. And I don't know.
We love you, Liberty Linda.
Pardon me?
We love you, Liberty Linda.
Thank you, Kevin. You have a wonderful day.
You as well. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Quickly back to our great friend Todd Christensen, Cap Ed Credit Union. You wanted to let people know about the contest, the deadline for the video contest?
Well, the video contest deadline has passed. That was actually April 1st. And now we're taking the opportunity this next week to do the judging of all of those videos and then the award ceremony or premiere where we show the top entries and then award the top 5, again, both for the high school and middle school. That'll be on Wednesday, April 17th at Overland Park Theaters or Cinemas. The doors open up at 5:30, but we'll start the program at about 6 p.m. And again, we show on the big screen the youth's productions and then award the top 5, both cash prizes as well as software.
Well, Todd, we appreciate it. We'll catch you throughout the morning. And
absolutely.
And
you have good Mr. Peter Reese here from Boise State to
keep you in line. I should really just, every time I try to do that, you always smack me, so we'll just leave it at that. More coming up next. Kevin Miller here at Boise State, KIDO Talk Radio. And good morning, KIDO Talk Radio. Kevin Miller with you, promoting our school, securing our future here at Boise State University. Let's get you to work safely and on time. KIDO Talk Radio, traffic and he's okay. Well, we'll get to Dave. Let's go back to Todd Christensen. Todd, you wanted to
going with the roll here, right?
Sure. Final thoughts?
Oh, we enjoy the opportunity to be here this morning and be able to talk about passport to education. We appreciate Peter Reese and Rebecca Morgan here this morning. Pete, as we complete out this hour of the morning, thoughts?
Yeah, I just have enjoyed the time today to be able to share some information with your listeners.
He always comes, and he's always very happy.
I'm very happy. But I just want to make sure that we touch base once again on the idea of Passport to Education, which is an exciting new subscription-based tuition program that gives students access to our fine programming on a low-cost monthly payment rather than the traditional tuition model. So our goal here is to provide people access so that they can plan their finances, the time that they're going to commit to going to school, and hopefully end up with a degree with little to no debt at the end. That's really critically important to us.
Well, and that's such a big deal, when we go into the political world, Todd, when we're talking about the millennials, and who would believe that actually the millennials are getting to be the old people because we've got the plurals and such. You know what I'm saying? And student loan.
We all keep getting older day by day.
Right, but student loan debt is a nonpartisan issue.
We see the student debt is continuing to increase. It's one of the largest debt factors within the United States. And again, as we create our partnership here around Passport to Education, it builds on our 83 plus years of partnering with Boise State and being able to provide that access and affordability.
Right.
As we started the conversations around this, we said, how can we take the cost of education from that of a mortgage payment to that of a car payment? And through the subscription-based model, we truly have been able to achieve something that is unique. To my knowledge, it's the only partnership that we have across the United States where a local financial institution has partnered with a university and be able to provide that access to our employees, to our member, and to our community.
Well, and education, as we've said, should be a liberator. You shouldn't be indebted for the rest of your life.
Correct. You talked about Lou Dobb earlier this morning, and being able to say that it's a great equalizer and a great way to be able to bring individuals into what they have as a passion and what they have as an interest for their career and an opportunity so that they can continue to succeed throughout their entire life.
Well, we thank all of you, and of course, more coming up next. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank
Enjoyed
you. KIDO Talk Radio, traffic and weather together. Let's get you to work.
I'm just Channel 7's Eric Gebert.
And I'm Kevin Miller, KIDO Talk Radio. We're joined now by our leader, Jeff the Suit, who has decided to come here, give us some guidance, give us some direction. The last time we tried to do it, I think it was Monday or Tuesday, it was the first time in the history of the Jeff the Suit directive broadcast that it just didn't go off as planned.
No, Jeff's broadcast school, and I felt like you and Ray had a vendetta or a plan to somehow block our excellent critique work. So, yeah, it was disappointing.
Well, when we're talking about education, it's always so important to take direction.
Right.
And as you know, I live to take your direction. So.
Oh, you live for it, absolutely. No, there's never any pushback, which is the amazing thing. But no, you know what? We have a lot of fun with this, but this is one of the best things that KIDO Talk Radio gets to be a part of. I love how much you care about this. And honestly, BSU is such a huge part of our community, but all the schools that we get to be a part of and come into and see what programs are going on and highlighting educators who are unsung heroes. My mom is a first grade teacher who's done it for years. And actually, Kevin, your degree, education, my degree, education. So, yeah, I was a teacher for about 3 months, and I didn't have what it took to cut it, so I'm playing this game now. But,
Well, we have that in common,
we
sir.
do. We do.
Yes.
We tapped out really early, and we didn't quite live up to our potential that our parents hoped for. But, here we are. It's great.
Right. And when we take a look at, as Todd was just talking about, student loan debt is such a nonpartisan issue, such a big issue for people.
Yeah, mine carried on for, 12 years. And I was a real hyperachiever or sampler, so I went to 3 different colleges. I started at one, lived the way they say you do, went to one, got a little more serious, and then I finished at a private college in Spokane, Whitworth University now. And just my 2.5 years at Whitworth, I think I was at $24,000.
Wow.
And I was one of the lucky ones, right? Like private, liberal arts school, but I was one of the lucky ones, and it took me about 12 years to pay it off. And it is one of those things where I think it keeps people from really experiencing what the college life can be. I've got, some in my life now that I'm like, you got to live on campus, you got to experience this whole college thing, right? But you look at the debt that you accrue from all that, and it really can become stifling. It can make you make other choices. So it's a sincere issue for sure.
And it's heartbreaking that you have people that are retiring and they haven't paid off their mortgage or their student loan debt.
Yeah, there's a friend of mine who did the medical track, and he is still paying. He's 43, and he's still paying for student loans. Obviously, when you go mad, you're stepping into something big. And I'm like, dude, you make $400 a year. What's the problem?
Right.
He's like, it's not that good, buddy. But it is. I mean, it's a nonpartisan issue, and it affects everyone who is trying to better themselves through higher education. And it's something we all can, for a better, I think, community and a better world around us, we can try and find better solutions. And this is cool to hear that today.
Now, I have to ask you a question, sir.
Oh, this is always the scary part.
Now, you are a world traveler, correct?
I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
You travel to exotic locations like California or Utah or Washington or
Thailand occasionally, all in the same family. Yep.
Yes, sir.
Sure.
What do you make of this Boeing situation with the MAX?
Dude.
Do you get scared flying?
So I'm the guy that watches flight crash documentaries on planes and have people around me who are horrified by that. So this is who I am. I know the statistics. I'm not too worried. I think this is really indicative of the problem between the FAA certification and Boeing being too comfortable, right? Because they let Boeing kind of self-report on a lot of stuff. And Boeing's a great company. I have family that work there. I grew up in the Seattle area. So,
but Boeing used to own KIDO Talk Radio.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Now I'm even more impressed.
Bill Boeing loved the station.
Thanks, Double B.
It was his favorite after the airplanes.
Well, now it's my favorite after the airplanes.
Sure.
But no, I think honestly it's problematic, and them owning it and accepting responsibility yesterday is the best move out of all this. But they're going to have to rewrite their software, and they're going to have to prove performance they've changed some things because I don't think a lot of people are feeling good about the Maxes. Even the pilots are speaking up.
Right, and that the idea of self-reporting. I would like to self-report with our working relationship.
Well, I trust you as much as I trust them.
That is so reassuring,
You're
sir.
welcome. Okay, good.
Anything else that you would like to share with us this morning?
No, great way to kick off the weekend, and lovely to see what's going on here at BSU.
Thank you. That is our good friend Jeff the Soup. More coming up next. Your home for Fox News is KIDO Talk Radio. Good morning.